I was going through a lot because I was taking like depression pills and all of that stuff. So it was bothering me that every girl that I dealt with said that I didn't show affection and love and stuff like that. So I had a breakdown. So I started tweeting, and Star from the Star Report, who I don't with now, but anyway, he was the only one that answered my tweet. So we did an interview on Star's show, so it broke the internet back there in 2016, and then the Daily News picked up the story, and then from there, because I was on the front page of the Daily News, then from there they interviewed Hassan. So at first he was cool, and then he went on somebody's show and was like, "Oh, he made up with Bambaataa and then when I came out, they said that they was gonna kill him, and he wanted to bust my head to the white meat because I came out and told my story what happened with
Hold on,
Afrika Bambaataa."
B singer, please start from the beginning, like how you met Afrika Bambaataa. He wants to know the whole story because they don't even know. They
Oh,
just know that somebody. They don't know that you was 15 years old. They don't know any of this stuff.
oh, okay. Yeah, no.
Thank you, Bridget.
How I met Bambaataa and was because a girl in my building she went with DJ Jazzy J. That's Afrika Bambaataa's DJ,
Yeah, I
and
remember. I remember him.
yeah. So then Jazzy played in the back of my building because I live in Castle Hill. Well, I used to live in Castle Hill in the Bronx, and
You Zulu Nation,
um,
bro. My bad. You
yeah,
Zulu
I'm
Nation.
Zulu. Yeah,
Okay, you
Hey,
said
hey, let them rock.
Castle
Hey,
Hill,
y'all mute
Florida.
up. Let them rock.
yeah. Castle Hill, Sex Money Murder. It's the land of Sex Money Murder with Soundview.
Yeah.
But anyway, Jazzy and them they played in the park. So one of the Zulus from the council liked my sister, so he started talking to my sister, and so that's how I became a member of the Zulu Nation. I was like an honorary member. So one day I was cutting school, and I didn't know where to go, but because I didn't want to get caught by Officer Williams, that was the cop that worked at Stevenson High School where I went to school at. So I called Afrika Bambaataa, and then I went to Bam's house. And when I got there, some dude was DJing. So Bam told me that I could go into the bedroom and watch TV. I was 15 years old at the time. So when I went into the bedroom, there was a photo book on the bed. So now that I'm older, I knew that was the setup. So I looked through the book and I seen mad people from the Zulu Nation that I knew. They was like holding their private parts and all of this nonsense. So Bam came into the bedroom, and then he was telling me, do I know how to masturbate and this and this and that? And I was like, what are you talking about? Because I had never did that. Like me and my sister, we was like sheltered kids. But anyway, he took out his private part and started, looking at it or whatever. So he left the room, and then another kid came into the room, and he had his private part out. So I got scared, and I ran out the house. And this lady, she stopped and she drove me to school. I was crying and all of that. So then Bam called me and apologized. So he told me to meet him downstairs. So I went and I met him downstairs, and then he drove me to my sister's boyfriend's house. So he had me he demanded me to go down on my sister's boyfriend. So then it was like a little second, and then he was like, "Oh, y'all family now." So, and from then on, I didn't like my sister's boyfriend. So from there, one of the high members of the Zulu Nation brung Bam to my house. So then, he put his private part in between. That's where Hassan got the die thing from, because when I was telling my story, I was telling him that Bam put his private part in between my legs and started pumping up and down. And I was scared because at the time this is Afrika Bambaataa, and the head of the Zulu Nation, and at that time the Zulu Nation had gangsters and all that in it. So after a while, I built up the courage and the strength to stop answering my door. It started at 15 and it ended at 15. So, and the reason I was scared and stuff because I didn't want nothing to happen to my family or anything like that. So then, when I used to go to the parties, because I was a crate boy for Jazzy J, and a crate boy is the person that when the DJ says, "Yo, pass me such and such a record," you'll go in the crate and get the record and give it to him. And then, we used to give out flyers for the parties and stuff like that. So, I used to go in the car with Bam to like the parties and stuff like that. I was wondering why he always was like, "Oh, B-Sticker could ride with me." So, he used to pat my head like I was some like if I was his chick, and I used to move his hand because I didn't like that shit. So now I don't like nobody like touching my head and stuff like that. So back to the star situation. So then I had told my story on Star Show, and it broke the internet. So then some kind of way Star got a video that Hassan did on Facebook, and then Hassan says that it was on Facebook for like like an hour, and then he took it down because the Zulu Nation asked him to take it down. But in 2014, I made a book about this whole thing, and so when Hassan took his video down, 6 or 7 months, that's what he said, 6 or 7 months later, then that's when I got the courage to tell my story to Star because I had a breakdown. And then it just seemed like to me that like once I came out, because I was like, I couldn't understand like why he always had some type of grudge against me. It was like he made me feel like if we was battling over Bambaataa or something like that. And I'm like, yo, bro, like I never experienced no shit like that. So then ever since then, like Busy B, the chief rocker Busy B, we did a interview together, and then from there, forget it. He used to attack me, and then one of his mods, I was talking to one of his mods on the phone, and then she recorded me, and then she gave it to Hassan, and then he played it on his channel, and yeah, it was just a whole big thing. And then I remember like one of the head members of the Zulu Nation is Mr. Biggs and Smitty. Mr. Biggs from the Soul Sonic Force and Smitty. They had said that Bam wanted the fire to stop. So, they offered me money to make the story go away. So then I didn't take the money. So then, because they had called my job phone, and at the time I was doing security. So I had asked them the captain for the security if I can have the audio tape just in case something happened to me or whatever. So then I had told Hassan, what happened, and that I took the audio from my tape from my job, and then he was like, "Oh, let me hold it just in case something happened to you." And at first I was like, "Nah, I got this. I'll hold it down my own self." So he asked me like 3 times. So then I end up like, all right, well, maybe I should give it to him just in case something happened. This was in 2016, when it was just crazy. It was crazy at that time. So then I gave him the audio. And then next thing you know, this nigga puts the audio out on his show. And that shit caused me mad problems with the Zulu Nation. Mad problems, because it was some shit that was said that you don't put on the internet. So from then on, I just stopped.
Snake, he thirsty for content, bro.
Yeah, I stopped fucking with him. You know what I'm saying? And then, he used to go back and forth and telling people, to don't listen to my podcast and all of this nonsense. So at the time, people was liking that raw, rugged stuff that he was talking. But like me and my sister, we ain't grow up like that. We were shelter kids, and like I was saying yesterday, the only places that we can go is in front of the building and in the back of my building where the park was. So we never grew up like in the streets and hanging out. So I was never used to that until I hung out with the Zulu Nation. So, I had like really lost my childhood because before I went to the Zulu Nation, I used to play with the water guns and all that. So, So then that was that. So like me and this dude, we don't talk. I don't trust that nigga. I would never trust that nigga. And yeah, I haven't listened to his podcast in like 4 years because I don't fuck with him. So then 2 weeks ago, I did interview. I did 3 interviews because now I feel much better because I'm taking depression pills. I've taken 200 milligrams of depression pills, and some they got me on psych pills and all these other pills just to make me normal and shit, you know. So I feel good. I'm back to myself. You know what I'm saying? So now I do YouTube and, you know, because I feel good. So this nigga seen that I was doing YouTube again. So he goes on this channel called, I don't even remember the channel. And then they was like, oh yeah, that he was on such and such channel. And Hassan was like, oh, I don't know why everybody listens to him, you know, because he's ugly. You know, if my girl had him as a baby, I will push her back up in her and deny him because that's one ugly dude. And he's like, I don't know why Bambaataa even mess with you and stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, that's gay. Like I couldn't understand that.
So is he insinuating that he
like
think he's a prettier guy for Bambaataa than you was?
That's
What he's saying.
exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's exactly what that is. It's
Tell
not
me
like a
that don't
jealous
sound like
baby
a
mama.
jealous bitch, though.
That's some shit my baby mama would say.
As my man
jealous.
Stan would
He's
say,
a jealous baby mama.
man.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Nah, no
Yeah, so
bullshit.
I
That
don't-
nigga out here acting
Wow.
like a jealous baby mama. Ass nigga.
Yeah.
Fuck out of
Yeah, because I don't fuck with him. You know, and Wack, I fucks with you,
That's
man.
crazy,
I definitely do.
Yo, but
You
what's
know?
crazy is I guess you try to connect with the nigga. You gave the nigga some confidence. He put it out. Then when he put it out, he act like y'all enemies. That sounds about right.
Yeah.